Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Zedos Game podcast. And
yeah, when I got Sacha's list, it was like, hang on, there's like 11 trailers on here. I was like, damn.
Yeah, damn.
About the same as last week, because I think, was it the London Film Festival? Just unleashed like a shitload of like content, basically. So it was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And some of these have, it looks like have been picked up in the past week. So, yeah, lots to talk about, I guess. So, yeah.
Okay, let's do this. And so the first trailer, I'll hand the reins to you, Sach.
Well, I was actually going to start with the passing of Sean Connery, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, big shame. But then at 90, I guess he lived a very good life.
You should just say big shame.
It is a big shame. He's a fucking screen legend.
It is a big shame.
You know what is a shame? That his last movie was, well, I guess he did
LXG.
No, he did an animation film, some animation film, which was voice work and a return to Bond for a video game. But yeah, his last like proper cinematic outing was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was a bit of a low. I always wanted him to at least do one more, just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to cement himself and go.
End on a high note.
Yeah, end on a high note. Because like, let's face it, the guy just loved his retirement. You know what I mean? He apparently liked to play golf a lot more. That's why he didn't want to come back to Indiana Jones. He was just like, no, I think I'll pay my golf. And like, that's literally what he said to Lucas and Spielberg. And you know what I mean? Like, that's fair enough. Fair enough. But like at 90, you know, the guy's had a really good career. He got out before the superhero movies kicked in. And, you know, he's my favorite Bond, to be fair. But yeah, I know my favorite Sean Connery film that's non-Bond, probably The Rock.
Yeah,
probably The Rock. And then what was that one with Wesley Snipes? Rising Sun. That was a good one as well. That was a good one as well. What's your favorite Sean Connery movies, guys?
Non-Bond.
Non-Bond.
Non-Bond. You know what? I mean, he's done some classics. I liked him in Highlander. That was always a very special film to me when I was young. He played that role so good.
It's Ramirez.
The Scottish Spanish man.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Loved him in Untouchables. He was so good. And he was magnificent as Indiana Jones's dad.
Yeah.
The chemistry between them.
Well, if you're going to get someone to play Indy's dad, you may as well get James Bond, eh?
Spot on.
Hunt for Red October, really memorable performance in that.
Yep.
Josh One Ping.
His little cameo in Robin Hood and Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
So many good ones. I mean, is some quite odd films as well, like he was in that First Night. You had Entrapment as well.
Oh yeah, Entrapment. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Like the sugar daddy.
Yeah. I think we were working together when that came out at the cinema.
Yeah, I'm sure we were, exactly. And it was it kind of paved the way because obviously it was Catherine Zeta-Jones, and it's just like she obviously got that taste for the older guy, you know? Which led her to a husband or whatever. But Finding Forrester as well.
Finding Forrester. I remember that as well.
That was one of his last films in 2000, and then obviously it was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So if you'd left on that as a high note, it is a real shame. But I think probably overall is The Rock, him and Nick Cage in that movie. Best Michael Bay movie as well, and as one of my top movies without a doubt.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not going to you guys kind of mentioned all the films that I liked as well, so I won't go into it myself. I'm gonna push the reins back onto Satch again.
Hey, so first up, the first trailer we got is everyone's talking about Jamie. Are we talking about Jamie? What do you guys think of the trailer, guys?
Trailer looked bright, fun. It was kind of got that Billy Elliot vibe. I guess. And,
I felt that.
I suppose the reason being because that's a musical as well. So this is based on a stage musical.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where all the music in it is from. It's from the stage musical. I mainly know most of these things because you remember traveling into London, you're seeing all the adverts up the escalators and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I remember that.
So it's about a young boy who is trying to get to grips with his sexuality, and disapproving father who ends up leaving home, but supportive mother, wants to be a performer, tries to go into drag show, and I think it'll portray a really good positive body image. In terms of being happy with who you are, that kind of vibe. So I think it's kind of movie and things that we need right now, because tolerance is not where we want it to be in the world, and so shining a light on it in this way I think can only be a good thing. So fingers crossed it does well.
Yeah,
it looks like it's being directed by the director that did the stage play as well. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Nice continuity there then, so he knows his subject material. So
it's a Netflix film, isn't it?
I think so. I think it might have just got picked up by Netflix. So yeah.
What are you talking about? Jamie.
Jamie, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
talking about
it's a cinema release. It's got a 20th Century Fox logo on it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought it looked. I echo what
Studios.
Ken said. It's it looked fun. It had some really good lines actually in the trailer, like the chemistry between him and his his friend seemed really cool, and it was just looked like a feel-good movie. It wouldn't be something I'd go to the cinema and watch, but it'd be something I'd definitely catch at home. And it was a good trailer for it. Whether they put together a good trailer. If you're judging the trailer, they did a really good job.
Yeah, for me, it's not something that I'm really interested in, so it's something I would bypass completely. I'm not really a musical guy. I think the only musicals I really liked were from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I guess. My favourite musical is West Side Story. So that has a completely different theme to Jamie. It's not my cup of tea, and so, but it looks well directed, and that's the better head and tail I can say about it. Really, do you know when you're in if I was in a cinema and the trailer came on, I'd probably go to the toilet or something, because I know it's a stage play. I know it's catered to a particular audience. That audience is not me. And that's the
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive musical fan. Like I said, it would be something that if it's
on a Sunday morning,
I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, it's something you catch at your own leisure, essentially. Yeah. What's next, Edge?
Okay, next up, the trailer for Horizon Line. You know what? This just looked like, what was that film with what's the girl from Deadpool's wife, Blake Lively.
Oh,
she was in a shark film.
Deadpool's wife.
The Shallows.
The Shallows. It just looked like The Shallows, but in a plane, man.
Well,
with triple.
It's by the people that made The Shallows.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I think it's like they had like a string of scripts that were like, really like ultra low budget, that were all like thrillers, and then they were just like, now we're going to do the same thing, but in a plane. But I enjoyed The Shallows personally, and I thought it was a really well made shark film. It could have easily have been called Jaws 5, and no one would have noticed the difference. You know what I mean? This time it's in The Shallows, but no, I really enjoyed it, and I think I like thrillers. I really like thrillers, and the trailer was okay. I felt it didn't seem like something that I'd go, oh my God, I need to see this right now kind of thing to go watch in a cinema. But, you know, for a Saturday afternoon, like Netflix, chill kind of thing, yeah, why not? You know, or if it's got decent enough buzz, then I'd be like, that would probably hype me up to go see it. Kind of like Crawl. You guys ever see the alligator movie Crawl?
Love that film.
Now, you know what? That's an example. That's an example because you know what? I heard of it and I was like, oh, okay, gator movie, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? And then my mate Travis came out to cinema. He was like, bro, you need to see Crawl. It's fucking sick. And when his eyes lit up like that after watching a film, we're kind of into the same stuff, so it's kind of like I was like, okay, I'm excited now because if he's saying it's fucking good, then it's gonna be fucking good. And man, that film was amazing. So yeah, it was like that was in my top 10 last year, I think. So yeah, fucking loved it. It was so, and what I liked about that, it was so inventive. So, you know, like these films, like sometimes the trailer, you know, sometimes they can surprise you, you know. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm kind of pro this. Joe, what did you think?
I didn't actually see this trailer.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys.
Jaws on the plane.
Yeah, it seemed fine up to a point. Again, it's one of these stupid trailers that has the mini trailer before the trailer.
Oh, right. Hey, get ready to see this trailer that you've already clicked on.
I
hate that. I don't get that.
Oh, so the reason why
it's like, this is really great and exciting. Okay, now I'm going to calm down again and just kind of tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, they kind of do that, Andrés. They kind of do that for the mobile market. So if you're scrolling on your phone, you see it. It's done. It's literally it's literally done so that the user can get a quick glimpse and be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Would you like to know more? And that's kind of like where all these little bite-sized things came from, because marketing companies decided to cater to, you know what I mean, like the mobile market, basically, because they know you're on Facebook or Twitter and you're scrolling down your phone when you're on the tube or on the train and stuff, and they know that quick glimpse is going to catch somebody. You know what I mean? May not be you, may not be me, because I like watching my trailers properly. You know what I mean? So, but
I completely get it. Listen, as a trailer, ignoring the little intro part that they all do nowadays, I just thought it was a bit meh. It was like,
fair enough.
I'm with you, Sach. If people are raving about it, then I'd be more inclined to, you know, check it out. But as a trailer as a whole, just watching the trailer, I just thought, okay, all right, this might.
I can see where it's going. Yeah, because I watched it with Emma, and she was like, I was gripped into the point where the woman's hanging out of the plane, holding on with one hand. Because she said it seems quite grounded, and then it just gets stupid. So she was just like, what would be the fucking reason for that? You know, it's just like, if something's wrong with the plane, you look for land, and I saw land in the trailer. Head towards land. I mean, I know that they don't know how to fly a plane and shit, but you should be able to turn, unless obviously the steering's broken, they can't turn. But then you see him go straight into a storm, and it's just like, surely it's quite basic. You have a throttle and you have that, and to be able to get into a position where you can do a controlled landing, maybe of some kind, whether it's on water or on land or whatever it is. But yeah, I understood the premise, but then it just kind of got silly. And
what we need to do, we need to review this trailer.
An hour and a half, you know what I mean?
We need to review this trailer with a pilot. We need to get Chris on the scene.
Yeah,
and he'll probably tell me, it's like, it ain't easy to land a plane. What are you talking about?
do you know what it was? It wasn't the sort of as if they do this or the technical aspect. To me, it was just, I don't know, kind of the cast is good. It's got the girl from Get Out, and I like the pilot. I forgot his name. He was the guy from Ghostbusters, right?
I think so.
The actor. Old school actor.
I remember. I knew exactly. I could put the voice to the to the face straight away.
Was it Ernie Hudson?
Wasn't it Candyman?
Oh, Ernie Hudson.
No. Okay. I think it was Ernie Hudson who stars as a. Oh right. Okay. Well, the cast looked good. It could potentially be good. It might just be the trailer just didn't sell it. So I'm with Sach. I'm gonna wait and see what the buzz on it is. Because I do like claustrophobic thrillers, sort of based in one location.
I'll give you some insight into that pre-roll thing. It's generally for YouTube. When our company was doing trailers, we had to put a 5-second pre-roll on, or the editors did anyway, and that's because people, you know, that click, you get a 5-second countdown, and then you can click to go into the thing that you want to watch. It was for the pre-roll. That was, I don't know what they do it for now because I haven't really worked on trailers for a while. But that's back 7 years ago. That's what it was for. I guess it's a whole different market now. What's next, Sach?
Well, next we have the trailer for Promising Young Woman, which is directed by Emerald Fennell, who's an actress that's been in a lot of films and TV shows like Killing Eve and stuff. It's her first film as a director, and this looks like a woman on a rampage for revenge kind of thing, and like feeding off people that are gonna like drug her and shit and take her and sexually abuse her, but she's like killing the fuck out of these people. She's pretending she's drunk and just murdering people. Revenge films are usually up my alley, so I like the premise. I'm in. What did you guys think?
Yeah, same. I thought it was really good. Again, the first trailer for this came out like December last year. So it's been hanging around quite a while. I thought it looked really good from that trailer. I said I didn't see it the first time round, and it's got a decent cast in it as well. I don't know how long each of them in it, but you've got Christopher Mintz-Plasse, you've got Adam Brody,
Kerry Mulligan.
Connie Britton and stuff like that. So it's got Alfred Molina. He's in it. So it's got quite a decent cast when you're looking at that. Alison Brie and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this looks really good. The trailer really sold it as this is like a must see. It's kind of a defining movie. It's like every generation once, every so often this movie comes along that has this kind of impact. And I think it's just about that. Oh, like you said, ultimate revenge on that sort of like Me Too thing. It's just about that male privilege in terms of what they think they can do, say towards women, and just them, fighting against that. So, yeah, to me, it looked decent. And again, Emma was like, yeah, that's one I want to see. So, it would definitely appeal to the female audience for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it appealed to me. I like the look of it. Carey Mulligan is fantastic. I've loved her since Drive and Shame. So I think it looks like she picks good projects.
Yeah,
She's like that type of actress to sort of not take a payday and just pick a good project. So the trailer sold it really well. The sort of like the way the film is shot and the way it looks really appealed to me. The concept looked good. I really wanted to know what happened in that scene where she dressed like a nurse and enters that. It looks like a stag party or something. So I'm like, what happened? What does she do in that scene to these guys? I'd check that out for sure.
Unfortunately, I didn't see this trailer either. I'm sorry, guys. It's been quite a traumatic couple of months for me, so I can't view everything, unfortunately. But from what you guys have said about it, it seems like it's... And is it got the woman from Killing Eve in it? The actual... Has anyone seen Killing Eve, by the way?
I have, yes.
I'm late on the party on that.
Okay. So Ken, does it have the actual killer? I don't know if she's Danish or Polish or...
I don't remember seeing her in it. No.
Okay.
I think she's the director.
I doubt it.
Well, it's a director that's an actress from Killing Eve, so that's why I'm on the assumption. I've never seen Killing Eve, so I can't say.
I mean, that could be anyone.
Emerald Fennell.
Yeah.
Emerald Fennell. She's not the main one.
She's not. Yeah. That might be the elder lady.
She's a showrunner for the second season of Killing Eve.
Yeah, I don't know who that could be, because the Killing Eve has a huge cast, and so that could be anyone. But if she's coming from that mold, then because Killing Eve is fairly good, and
she's not acted in Killing Eve.
Oh, is she not? Okay, I got that
right.
mistaken. No. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. What's next?
In The Crown.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Did she? I think she played Camilla in The Crown.
Camilla Parker Bowles. Ah, okay,
Oh,
okay.
No, Camilla. Yeah, I think she might have been playing Camilla in The Crown.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I guess either way. Yeah, it's a trailer that I need to catch. It sounds, from your guys' description, it sounds like it's gonna be. It sounds like it would be like. Is it coming out this year or next year?
I think it's this year. I think it's like Christmas.
Right. Okay. It sounds like a December, January type of film. Yeah, I hope to check it out. I'll check it out after.
Yeah, she's a writer for Killing Eve, so you can tell she's got that strong writing credentials from a female character point of view, and
right.
stuff like that. So that's led to the success of her being able to direct this movie. Is her success as the writer on Killing Eve.
Right. Okay.
It's scheduled to be released on Christmas Day.
Oh, right. Okay. There you go. Christmas Day. If we're allowed out. Yeah. that hopefully people will go and watch that. All right. What's next, Satch?
The Dry, starring Eric Bana. To be honest, I've forgotten this trailer already.
Right.
Which doesn't bode well for how good.
This trailer was dry.
There you go.
It's just not for me. Just
it's like when I first saw Eric Bana, I was like, "Oh, cool! I haven't seen him in something in a while."
Yeah.
And then it's like, maybe there's a reason. Yeah, because then when I was watching it, I was thinking, oh, you know, how would I have him back in another Marvel movie and stuff like that? I was thinking, who could
the Hulk.
But then you're like, I spent the trailer thinking about that, and then I forgot what the trailer was about, and it was just like, I think it's kind of some murder mystery kind of. It's based on a book,
right?
But yeah, it didn't grab me at all.
So it'd be like one of those films, as I was suggesting earlier. It's okay. I'm gonna go get some popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, I come back. I couldn't tell you for sure.
Honey, I'm just gonna get some popcorn. See you later.
I can't even remember the trailer, and I saw it just before the podcast.
Yeah, same.
Probably an hour before the podcast, and it's just
no idea what it's about.
I think maybe he was like doing his hair at a sink or something in the trailer. I can't remember, man.
Sitting on the end of his bed or something like that.
There you go. It's really unmemorable. Really. You know what I'd like to see Eric Bana in, though? I'd like to see him in a stand-up comedy. In a comedy, because he's originally a stand-up comedian from Australia. And how he got into movies, he was the director of Chopper.
I love Chopper.
Chopper's an amazing film. For people that have never seen Chopper, check out Chopper. It's probably like his best performance ever. Yeah. And like literally the character he plays in that film is completely different to what he's like in real life, because he does a lot of impersonations and impressions. I remember when he was doing the interviews for the movie Troy, he was taking a piss out of Orlando Bloom to his face. He was literally mimicking Orlando Bloom's voice and mannerisms and movements in front of Orlando Bloom, because they had to play brothers in that movie. And apparently he even put some of those mannerisms in his performance as well. I haven't seen Troy in ages, but yeah, great actor. I thought he did okay as a Hulk. I wouldn't want to see him in the MCU, because for me, I think it'd just take me out. You know, you used to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, he had his time, man.
No. J. Jonah Jameson.
That's the exception to the rule, though. That's the unless he did like a Spider-Verse and came in that way, I'll be like, okay, cool. But like, we know how Ken feels about that, so we won't go there.
All right. Okay.
All right. Next up, we have Stardust. I'm always intrigued for these kind of movies, because like David Bowie, I like his music, but I wouldn't say I was a hardcore fan. I don't know much about his life, like, you know, like leading up to
the guy's a genius. David Bowie's a genius. That's the bottom line. End of story.
But that's why I like music movies like this, that autobiographies, because then I get to know about the artist a lot more if I've didn't really follow their lives and stuff. And then it makes me appreciate the music's a bit more on a nostalgic kind of level. So I'm game for this, regardless of what, you know. I thought the trailer was quite interesting. And yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think?
First of all, go, Ken.
Inspired by this trailer. I thought it was so dull.
Okay, fair enough.
It was, you know, if you compare it to the biopics we've seen recently of like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man and stuff like that, very powerful trailers, big characters, stuff like that. This was just so dull. I mean, I don't know if it was the actor. I don't know if
definitely the actor.
You know, or you know, just the direction of it. But I just, it wasn't inspiring. It wasn't uplifting. It didn't do anything for me at all. I was really disappointed in this.
Would you say it was probably how the trailer was cut? Because what I loved about Bohemian Rhapsody's trailer was that it was very musically inspired, if you know what I mean. And it had like key moments in the film that you'd expect to see from a Freddie Mercury biopic. Freddie Mercury is someone I probably know a lot more about because I love Queen. But I mean, yeah, I remember that trailer very vividly because it was very, you know, musically inspired. Whereas you're right, Ken, this really wasn't. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it had a little bit of music maybe right at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely trying to get more of the man rather than the character. Again, I don't know David Bowie's, you know, history in terms of how he got into his music, this, that, and the other. But, you know, I like some of his songs. Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan per se because again, it just wasn't my era. It wasn't something I grew up in. My house that wasn't really played in my household, unlike like Elvis and Elton John and all those kind of things. But just not for me at all.
Andrés?
Well, being someone who loves music, makes music, I'm always interested to sort of see biopics. You know, I've seen Rocket Man. I saw the Bohemian Rhapsody. So when I saw, oh my God, this is, I hadn't even heard of this film. So when I saw it was about David Bowie, who, as Joe said, is one of the sort of leading edge artists of all time, you know, I was like, yeah, cool. But yeah, they just didn't do a good trailer. The actor that played him I don't know, he didn't sort of have that electrifying presence. There wasn't a spark the way that the actor who played Freddie Mercury or the actor Rami Malek, or who was the actor who played Elton John?
Oh, Taron Egerton.
Yeah, the massive spark there for both of them. So essentially, I'm going to watch the film because I'll watch any musician biopic. I'm always just interested. But yeah, as a trailer, it just kind of like, And also, it did show the whole film, the whole trajectory, even at the end. Okay, so I kind of know where this film's going. I don't know. To me, it wasn't a good trailer, but I'm gonna watch the film because, you know, I love seeing about musicians, and all I thought once it was done is, please make one about Prince.
That's gonna happen. That will happen fairly soon.
Sorry?
Prince.
Yeah, that I'd love to see.
Yeah, that will definitely happen. I need to talk about this. This is the most uninspiring trailer I've ever seen about a musician at the level of
Bowie.
It was so uninspiring. Whoever's playing the actor that's playing David, I don't know who's directing him, but that's not David Bowie as far as I'm concerned. He's literally just come on and done his own thing. He's kind of like cosplaying as David Bowie. It's not David. With Rami Malek, I felt he invoked a quality of Freddie Mercury that I don't think a lot of. I mean, it's just uninspiring. I agree. It didn't make me feel like, come on, man, this is David
Bowie.
Yeah, you need to.
This is Bowie.
The amount of trends that David Bowie started in the 70s in terms of electronic music, characters, different characters for different albums. I mean, even freaking Beyonce does it. She has a character, Sasha Fierce, and Beyonce that came from Bowie. So they needed to put some of that in it. That just what trends he started, what kind of person he was for lots of other artists and uninspired.
So I tell you why this trailer is so dull, because this isn't authorized in the slightest.
By the estate.
The movie's prohibited from playing any David Bowie music.
There you go. They did that before with the Jimi Hendrix
Yes,
film,
yeah.
starring Andre 3000, and it was terrible. I hate when they do that. If you can't get the estate to let you use the music,
don't do it.
Icons, don't bother. And now that you've said that, Ken, I'm like,
probably
done.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah,
because that Hendrix one broke my heart.
Yeah, I remember watching bits of it. So, ooh, I don't know what's going on here, but this is not even the one about Miles Davis. There's one about Miles Davis that came out with Ian McGregor and John Cheadle, and that was actually, it was a section of his life, but that was really good.
Yeah, that was a good film.
Yeah, I actually worked on that as well. So, it was really, it's better than what this looks like it's going to be. And so, that's my tendency. I'm not going to talk about this film anymore.
So a question for you: what is your favorite musician biopic movie? I would say in most recent history, I'd say it'd be Bohemian Rhapsody. But if I was one in the past was did a biopic of I can't remember the artist's name now. He's left a blank. It was actually more of a producer. Tina Turner and her what was her husband? What's love got to do with it?
Yes. Yeah. Ike Turner. Ike Turner.
Lawrence Fishburne's Ike Turner.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. I remember watching that as a teenager, and it was quite horrific what Tina Turner went through. Ike Turner was a bastard, but very business. He knew what would make money, and so I guess he was the behind.
That's a good one. That's a lot of people hold that in high regard. Satch?
Modern day, I would say Bohemian Rhapsody and Straight Outta Compton. Past, I would say The Doors with Val Kilmer and John Carpenter's Elvis with Kurt Russell.
Okay.
John Carpenter made a film called Elvis.
Yeah,
he did an Elvis biopic way back in the day.
Wow. Okay.
It was actually, I think it was his first ever film. I think I could be wrong. here.
I'll have to check that.
It was actually a television movie in the States, but it got a theatrical release outside of the States. It used to come on TV quite a bit. My mum used to watch that one a lot. So that was kind of like one of the first musical kind of biopic things I think I ever watched. So, yeah. So it kind of always stuck out. So, but The Doors with Val Kilmer, that's a good film.
Yeah.
For me, I think I quite enjoyed Walk the Line.
Yes,
that was good.
I've not seen that yet.
That was good. One I do want to see is Get On Up.
Chadwick Boseman, right?
Oh, how could I forget that film, man? That's
my pick.
Right,
that is up there.
I haven't had a chance to see that yet, so that's
good.
Get On Up and Straight Out of Compton.
That's yours, yeah.
I enjoyed Ray.
Yes, I love Ray.
I forgot about Ray. yeah, Ray was good. Yeah,
that was good. And an older one was La Bamba.
Oh right. Okay.
I remember that.
Is that the one from the 90s or is it 80s or 90s?
It was like up here 87.
87. Okay. So I remember vividly that song was everywhere when I was a kid, and where's this song as a kid? And everyone's just listening to it, and it made sense later on. But yeah, I just remember as a kid just hearing that song everywhere. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Has everyone done their? Have you done yours, Andrew?
Yeah. Straight Out of Compton and Get On Up.
Okay, that's right. That's good choices as well. Satch, what's next?
Next up, we have the Burnt Orange Hersey. The Burnt Orange Hersey? Yeah. This one stars Donald Sutherland and randomly Mick Jagger making an appearance in there. I see. I haven't seen him in a film since Free Jack with Emilio Estevez. Remembers that film where he's the bounty hunter? I remember that was a sick film, man. That was a sick film. But back on this film, I don't know, the trailer intrigued me. I like the premise, but I don't know, man. What do you guys think?
It's kind of it's like an art, it's kind of a conspiracy hustling type movie, I guess. Art world. I mean, decent cast. Elizabeth Debicki, I like her, and I'm not sure how you say it. Is it Cleus Bang? The lead in it. I thought he was fantastic in Dracula.
He was Dracula. Okay.
Yeah, so he was he's a Danish actor. So yeah, I thought he was fantastic as Dracula. First 2 seasons, not the third part. First and second part, not the third part. But yeah, it looked okay, but I don't know. It just Mick Jagger's face just kind of put me off. It was just kind of really strange, and I'm not saying he gave a bad performance, but it was just very strange seeing him in that environment. It just kind of took me out. I was like, I'm trying to get my head around this.
Mick Jagger has a face for Star Wars, man. If he wasn't so famous, he'd definitely fit in on that Mos Eisley Cantina, man.
I thought it was average at best. This trailer, it was okay, but I'm not like, I need to see this at all. It's probably a film that I'll miss. I probably wouldn't even get around to seeing it. I'm not gonna lie.
Andreas?
It looked like a bag of shit to me.
There's me trying to be polite.
I was like, what the hell is this? This is the dry in this just was like, you know what? It's probably not even made for me. And I completely understand that. I mean, it's nice to see Donald Sutherland. He's like one of those classic actors that's done some amazing movies in the 70s. But God, no, just...
This trailer made the dry look moist.
No, it's not as bad as the dry. The dry, I literally couldn't remember a thing about, apart from Eric Bana doing his hair. But not for me. Art dealer, something art dealer. Not interested. Too highbrow, maybe.
I mean, it looks like a super independent film, which may be at the curtain. I didn't see the trailer for it, but from how you guys have described it, it looks very droll. Even the poster, I've got a graphic of the poster that I put up as while we were talking about it, and it doesn't suggest. It looks like one of those Danish dramas, TV dramas. I don't know if you've seen any like Wallander or I can't remember the other one, but it just looks droll.
What did you call it, Joe? You said it's a Kurtzen. That's exactly it.
Yeah,
it's like
Kurtzen.
A film that show at the Kurtzen, some highbrow.
Very highbrow.
People will be there watching this movie, lording it. Well, I'd be in the back with popcorn, going, what is this?
Sony Pictures classic.
Okay. All right. The getting their indie films out for, I guess it's still that season. Well, it's going to be that season up until December. So, I guess they're pushing all of those films out now.
Yeah, it's going to win nothing.
Oh, you don't know. It's got the power of Mick Jagger and Donald Sutherland there, so... you never know.
Unless he busts out a number and they win best song, then no, he's not winning nothing.
All right. What's next, Satch?
What's next? Freaky with Vince Vaughn. This is the second trailer. I do believe we reviewed the first trailer a few podcasts ago. I'm not sure if the same. Ken would have been there. I'm not sure whether Andrés was there the first time.
The same time we did the Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, that's right.
Hubie Halloween. You guys reviewed that trailer. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. And fuck Adam Sandler for making that film.
Just watch the shit. All these subjects us this. I watched that movie and oh my god.
It's bad, isn't it? It's fucking bad.
Film is awful. awful film.
How does he go from Uncut Gems back to those type of movies?
It's what he does, man.
It's
It's what he
because he
does.
didn't win an award. He said, "I'm going to go out to make the worst movie he ever made."
Oh, he's stuck
He's
to his
tried.
work.
Lord, he's tried.
He really is.
He's about to do the same thing next year. He's got like a big, drama coming out soon. We did it a few podcasts ago. He's got a big drama coming out soon. I think it's being produced by the same guys that did Uncut Gems, and it's the director of Chernobyl, of all the Chernobyl stuff, and it's written by the Chernobyl team. And it looks, apparently they're saying Oscar buzz, etc. The script's meant to be really good, and he's the guy. And then in the same Newsweek, which was last week, he signed on to do another typical Adam Sandler film.
He's got his Sandlerverse.
So you've with Adam Sandler, you got to accept that he's always going to do those films because that's what makes him and his friends bank.
They give him the money, and the audiences they lap it up. So
so he, I respect the hustle, to be honest, but at the same time, he is an actor that is capable of so much more. I mean, a part of me always wondered, because he was first choice for Beardew in Inglourious Bastards. In fact, the role was written for him, but he had to drop out because he had some crazy Adam Sandler movie that he was contracted to do. And it was like, oh my God, we could have got a really decent Tarantino Adam Sandler, but instead we got probably Jack and Jill, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, let's stop giving him airtime and talk about Freaky.
Freaky, I like the first trailer more, I think, than the second trailer. It is pretty much more of the same. It's just quicker cuts, just showing a little bit more of the gore in it. So there's definitely a lot more like deaths in it than I anticipated. So it looks a little bit like Final Destination. It's just like, this way they're going to die this way and this way. So it's just trying to be imaginative with the deaths and stuff like that. So Vince Vaughn, from the first trailer, like he was actually trying. The second one, not so much, because he's very much an actor who, doesn't seem to give a shit, and you can kind of tell a lot of the time. But because he's not playing Vince Vaughn, he's playing a woman in Vince Vaughn's body. It's slightly different. But I probably will watch it because I think it's just it's another take of that Freaky Friday kind of thing. And generally, I do like Vince Vaughn movies. So, but again, once you've seen a Vince Vaughn movie, you tend to see quite the same thing. So, but the rest of the cast are quite decent in it. There's a few funny moments in it, but it definitely appealed to me more than the Hubie trailer. So.
Andrés, what did you think?
It's got that, because it's by Blumhouse, right?
Blumhouse,
yeah, Blumhouse.
Yeah.
So it's got a similar feel to that film that everyone loved, Happy Death Day.
Right.
So everyone really dug that film. I watched it.
It's by the same people.
Yeah, it was all right.
It's fine.
I didn't get what everyone was going on about, but that film sort of took that trope of Groundhog Day and turned it into horror, a fun comedic type horror, and it looks like they're doing the same thing but for the Freaky Friday concept. So, respect them for that. It's a type of film I'd probably watch if it's sort of on Netflix or Prime, not VOD. It wouldn't be something I'd pay for, but if it was on and I fancied just watching something just fun, and I know I'm not going to love it, but I'm just going to, then that's what I'd do.
It only had about a $5 million budget, so it's very low key.
Yeah, that's how I sort of treat these movies.
I'll go one better. If this, not even if this was on a streaming site, if this was on TV, then I'll probably watch it.
Okay.
Then I'll probably watch it.
It's on like Channel 5 one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Channel 5.
91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So. Okay. Oh, right, okay. I take that back. If
there's 11 views, but
well, I don't know. This trailer seemed like I like the concept's interesting, but I just didn't. It didn't sell me. Vince Vaughn didn't sell me in this. I'm glad he's in a film again. But again, it's one. I've given up.
A Simpsons episode and a Simpsons Halloween where Snake enters the body of Homer because Homer has a hair transplant with snake's hair.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
it's the same thing. So it's a killer in somebody else's body. So
right. Simpson did it first, as usual. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about Freaky. Good on you, Vince Vaughn, for getting another job. What's next, Satch? Satch, what did you think about it? Sorry, yeah. What did you think about it, Satch?
About the same as I thought as the first trailer. I'll check it out, but I'm not really like, oh my god, I need to see this. Like, you know, I like Vince Vaughn. I'm a sucker for this kind of film in general, but you know, there wasn't anything in either of these two trailers that jumped out and made me go, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. I think if I was with the right set of people and in a cinema with an audience, I'd probably like, you know, I'd feel the energy a bit more, if that makes sense. Because I always find with comedies, like, laughter's a bit contagious sometimes. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need to be in the right headspace and right vibe. And I know maybe I was having an off day today, but I watched this, and because it was more of the same as the first trailer, I knew what I was getting myself into, and it didn't really surprise me. I was just like, more of the same, maybe a bit more gore than I expected the first time around. But yeah, just whatever, innit?
Sasha, talking about Vince Vaughn, you've watched F is for Family, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So what do you like in that? Because he does a voice in that.
Yeah, he's pretty good in that. But then I don't really.
Or is he a character?
Hang on, wait a minute. I need to look up who he plays in that. I knew he was in it, but I can't. Chet. Which one's Chet?
Chet Stevenson.
Let me just have a look. If I see the character, I'll know. Chet. Oh shit, that guy. Yeah, he's different. That ain't normal Vince Vaughn, man.
That's interesting.
That's not normal Vince Vaughn. He's kind of a bit more serious.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Bit more serious. Yeah. He's not a funny character. Like, I'd say the situation's funny, but I wouldn't say he was.
He plays it straight.
Yeah. And you know what? I always would see Vince Vaughn's name on the show, but I just thought he produced it. I didn't think that he did a role. Okay. That's kind of. Have you guys ever seen F is for Family?
No.
My sons watch it.
It's great. It's absolutely great, man. I fucking love that show.
Speaking of Vince Vaughn, I don't know if you guys have, because I know he went through a slew of not so great movies, but he was really good in Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, he was. And fantastic in that.
There's a film he was in that I don't know if you've seen. It's called Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Oh, right. Yeah, that film's quite extreme.
Yeah, very extreme.
Yeah, I saw the trailer to it.
Yeah. I've that film. I enjoyed that film. To be fair, I still need to see
Dragged Across Concrete.
That's the one. Same director. Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson. Dragged Across Concrete. I really want to see that.
Not as good as.
Not as good. Okay.
No. But still, he is a very interesting director. This guy. I forgot his name.
So yeah.
What's next?
Next up, we have The Midnight Sky, directed and starring George Clooney, and it's also starring Rogue One girl. What's her name? Yep, Felicity Jones. Yeah, Felicity Jones.
I don't have a poster for that one, so I don't know what it is.
Kyle Chandler in it.
You know what? I actually can't remember the trailer.
Basically,
I just remember him.
Some people are up in space, and George Clooney's trying to get a message out to them, either to don't come back to Earth or
don't come back to Earth. Yeah,
basically because it's like snowed over, and the planet's going to die, kind of thing. So, to be honest, it looks all right. George Clooney rarely takes a misstep when it comes to directing.
Yeah, that's right.
And he must have enjoyed, his time up in space with Sandra Bullock. So he's like, we'll revisit that. It looks fairly decent. Yeah, post-apocalyptic. Yeah, I'm quite into this. And again, Emma saw this and she was like, yeah, I quite want to see this. And that's quite rare, especially when it comes to something a little bit more sci-fi and like set in space. But she really enjoyed The Martian, and she said, kind of gave her a little, she goes, I really enjoyed that. She goes, I'll give this a chance. So yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay. Well, Andreas?
Well, yeah, I mean, it comes out on the 20th of December. It's just going to drop on Netflix, so there's not really much effort. It's not like you've got to go out to the cinema or pay on VOD. So I like his beard. His beard really looks good. It didn't sort of wow me, but I would check it out. And as Ken said, he's a good director.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would watch this film.
Right.
I would watch this film.
Satch, what did you think?
To be honest, I can't even remember the trailer, to be honest, which says a lot. But then at the same time, as Ken said before, Clooney really hasn't directed a bad film yet, in my eyes. I know, like, he got flack for that one set in the 40s. No, not the he didn't direct that. There's one he directed. It was like a rom-com kind of thing set in the 40s. It was a period piece. I can't remember what it was called, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Good Night, Good Luck?
No.
Oh, yeah. Another
Wait.
one you're talking about.
Hang on, let me just find it.
Directed Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Good Night and Good Luck, Leatherheads,
I think.
March.
Leatherheads.
Leatherheads. Okay, I never saw that.
Yeah, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. I mean, purely, the trailer didn't grab me, but I'd be practically watching this just for the talent because, he picks good scripts. You know what I mean? He just picks the best scripts. That's literally it. He's even said that himself. So, yeah. Next up, we have Jackie Chan in Vanguard. You know what? I saw this as like almost, did he team up with Michael Bay? Obviously, I knew he didn't, but the amount of explosions in this trailer made me think that he did. You know what? For me, it's a straight up yes, only because it's Jackie. Even if it's bad, I'll watch it because it's Jackie. So, I'm in. Whether it'll be good, we'll have to wait and see because, like, Jackie's a bit older now and not doing the stunts as much, and I'm seeing a lot of CG in it. And I've not been impressed with his recent stuff unless it's like something a little bit more low budget and hardcore. Because Skip Trace was awful with Johnny Knoxville. And
what's Skip Trace?
Oh man, don't! It's a bad Jackie Chan. And you know what it is? You know what it was for me that was really bad about that film? Like, I get he's old. I get he can't do the big.
When did this film come out?
It came out like 2000 and something. I can't remember which year. But the thing is that they just feel almost like, okay, he can't do the big stunts, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna put in a big stunt, and then CGI it. And the thing is, that's fine if the CG look great, but in Hong Kong they don't really spend the money on like making the CG looking good.
No, they do.
Well, that probably. I don't know what's wrong with this film because when the big thing came, I was like, wow, that is the worst blue screen I've seen in the past like 30 years, man. This shit's like from the 80s, and it just destroyed the whole movie, like literally. And the movie wasn't even that great going in. But yeah, I was just like, nah, man, if you're going to do CGI with Jackie, make sure it at least looks real. You know what I mean? Like otherwise it's just going to take you out because a lot of his body of work is sold on the fact that he does his own stunts. You know what I mean? And like, I get that he can't do as much of them as he can now, but I just, like the whole Tom Cruise effect, when you watch a Mission Impossible, that's him on screen, You know what I mean? And even when it isn't him on screen and it is a CGI thing, it looks good. You know what I mean? So I just hope they don't cheap out on this. So,
yeah. I got very much like an Underground 6 vibe, like I say from this trailer. Lots of explosions. Jackie Chan, I don't know if they've de-aged him in this trailer, but he does not. There's not a man who looks his age. Yeah, I mean, to his credit, I mean, if that is how he looks, fair play to him. But, he's like 66 now, and yeah, he's looking young in this movie. But yeah, lots of explosions. He's obviously teamed up with some, probably, I don't know if they're action stars in China or whatever it is, but it's very much like a team ensemble, and he's kind of that lead. But because it is Jackie Chan, I would give it a shout. If it wasn't him, probably not, to be honest.
Yeah. Andreas, what do you make of it?
It kind of had that sort of Fast and Furious vibe, massive over the top, defy all laws of physics, action. I mean, I love Jackie Chan as well. And Ken, you're right. It almost is like they de-aged his face because...
That's where they spend all the money, I think.
Yeah. That's why the special effects ain't going to look good, because they went on his face. But I love Jackie. I mean, this has already been released in China. I was just looking. So, yeah, I'd check this out. But it'll be a film that I sort of take with a little bit of a pinch of salt. It does look like he's forming a young team around him, and Ken, you could be right. A lot of these, a lot of the younger cast could already be, known talents
in China.
They might just be
China.
You have the Jackie Chan stunt team. They might be graduates of that kind of thing.
Yeah,
the platform for them, but. Joe, I don't know if you've seen the posters, but there's like 20 different posters for this movie.
Yeah. It was a nightmare trying to select an actual poster for the image thing on OBS, and the poster that I did have, it's got him front and center, and it's got the others behind him.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm looking at now.
Right. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I just love the way they said London, Africa,
yeah.
Dubai, like this is.
It's almost like
the world.
Yeah,
from cities to continents,
Yeah.
Just like in countries.
Well, it should be. Hopefully, it'll be old school Jackie Chan action. I mean, the director is the guy that did First Strike and Rumble in the Bronx. So
okay. Really?
That kind of has that. Yeah, so that's kind of got piqued my interest a bit more, and. He's also directed a lot of episodes with Sammo Hung on martial law and stuff. And, oh, shit. He did Supercop, Police Story 3. Yeah, I'm in. I've changed my mind, man. Okay, I can take the ropey CG. I know that action direction is going to be lit, so it's all right. It's Stanley Tong, so yeah.
Subtitles. So for the general audience, it's not going to do much over here.
Oh yeah, of course, but that's not why you go see like a Jackie Chan film. The fans will reunite and watch it. You get that one cinema that has it playing. People will go. People like Imran. You let Imran know that like there's a Jackie Chan film playing in the cinema. He's there. He don't care how bad it is, man. So, but hey, if it's out, I might like try and get a copy like in the next couple of days.
We don't. Yeah. Please anyway, refrain from saying stuff like that on the podcast. This video will be taken down, so I'll edit it out.
Oh, okay. So, Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. All 16 seconds of that. Hey, I don't know what the fuck I was watching, man, but it's Nicolas Cage being raging Cage and crazy. So I'm in. What did you guys think?
Well, yeah, it was just like him looking crazy. I think there was a pair of tits, and then him chopping something, and there was a pinball machine, maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah,
it was very, very odd. It does look like a straight to DVD type movie again. Maybe he's still paying off those taxes. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it at the moment. So yeah, I'll have to hold judgment until I see a little bit more than, like you say, probably about 12 seconds, including the credits.
Andreas?
I need to see more. It's hard to tell what it was about. It was like 16 seconds, but I'm reading about the premise now. When the facility's 8 animatronic characters come to life and try and kill him, that sounds fantastic to me.
I'm in.
to me, that sounds brilliant. And then it goes, but it's that bit where it says now he has to team up with a group of teens who also find their way into the building. It's like, really? Did we have to have the teens? I get it. I'm old, so I just like Nicolas Cage. I don't need the teens, but I need to see a proper trailer.
After seeing A Color Out of Space, I will see this man in anything that he does. A Color Out of Space is probably the most. I was a little bit drunk when I watched that, and but it's so trippy. By the end of that film, I don't know what I just watched, but it was really fucked up, but enjoyable at the same time because of his Nicolas Cage-isms, and so I can't fault this guy. Nicolas Cage just oozes Cage, yeah, and it shows just on screen, man. He's a legend. The guy's a legend. Whatever this film is, I'll watch it. That's a testament to how much I like Nicolas Cage. Sach?
Yeah, ditto, Joe. I mean, like, you know what? Cage is. I actually think Nicolas Cage is starting to do some of his best work lately, to be honest. I actually mean that because he's coming out with a few gems, you know what I mean, that are like undiscovered or like, you know, for a niche audience, etc. He's found his footing, man. He gets to get crazy and do whatever he likes and stuff. I still think Army of One is like the best unseen Nick Cage film that nobody's ever seen. Because that film's just fucking jokes. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about that, to be honest.
Right. Well, that brings us
106 credits on IMDb.
Jesus Christ, that's quite a bit.
You'll do anything.
I'll do anything, man. I can't do his voice.
I need to see Army of One.
Check it out, man.
I remember the trailer came out and it looked quite nutty, so I'm gonna check that.
It is insane. But yeah, watch the film, and then by the end of the film, you'll probably take a YouTube dive, most definitely.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
I have a question for Joe, because you liked The Color Out of Space, which freaked my brain out to have you also seen Mandy?
Yeah. See, Mandy's weird.
Crazy.
I've seen Mandy twice now, and I watched it once when I was drunk, and once when I was
Please don't say on LSD.
No. I was on a different substance, but it made the film spacey. That's really hard to. I'll give you this point. I was watching it with one of my old work colleagues, and he was drunk out of his mind, and he said, "What the hell is going on, Jose?" Joe, and so I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Is he in the hospital? Is he in bed? Is he going to? What is going on? It freaked him out. It freaked him out completely.
Was that Chris by any chance?
Yeah, it was Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just your impersonation. I could picture him doing that. Man.
Yeah. Yes, and so it's not a film that I would suggest to everyone. But if you're like just kind of wasted one night and you've come home and you want something to watch, Mandy is interesting. Keep it in your lexicon if you're gonna watch, if you're in that mood. It's strange. That's all I put from that. I did like it though. I did like it. Right, I guess that's the end of the trailers. After an hour and 3 minutes, we got to the end of the trailers.
You know what? That's kind of about the same mark that we hit last week, because we had this exact same amount of trailers. So yeah.
And even more topics.
Yeah, and even more topics. So yeah, let's go.
Edit your list, man.
I do, but I saw an opportunity to get everything off and out. So I was like, yeah, we'll blitz through it. So
cool.
All right. So Neon Productions and Studio Canal have bought the rights to the documentary The Painter and the Thief to remake it as a feature following its premiere from the Sundance Film Festival. Okay, so last week we actually saw the trailer to this documentary. I didn't know it was a documentary after watching the trailer. I saw the trailer and I thought it was a film. And it wasn't until further reading that we all discovered that it was actually a documentary. From the documentary, it already looks like a film, and to be honest, the documentary intrigued me in general. That trailer intrigued me in general about seeing the whole thing. Anyway, I do think the premise lends itself to a drama kind of film. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm interested to see both, to be honest, both what they do with the actual movie of it, and I'm interested to see the documentary in general. So I don't know. Who was there last week?
Me.
Joe, did you see the you see the trailer?
I saw the trailer.
What do you think of this news about turning it into an actual feature?
I guess so. I mean, Studio Canal lost quite a lot of money with Luc Besson's last film. I'm guessing they're going for the Studio Canal are a company with a lot of money. So I guess this is ideal for them. It's something they could easily film, low budget, get a director they can easily control. That's all I got for this, really. I'm glad that they're doing it, but I'm not sure if it's particularly necessary in this climate. I'm not sure if it's going to get eyes on it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, in this climate where we're in at the moment, I think you need because I mean, there's so many documentaries on Netflix and on lots of other sites as well that that can fill that gap. I don't see the need for them to pick this particular one up and turn it into something that could potentially, I don't know, it may not get a return for them, or they can sell it on, I don't know, but it's either. It's cheap enough to do, I guess, and I know I'm flip-flopping between reasons, but I just don't really see the reason for another documentary or film in the climate that we're in.
It's going to be a film based on the documentary. So.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I don't see the need for it. If there's a documentary, why do a film? If it was, I think only certain films should get documentaries, like or films made out of them, like the Room, the bad film, The Room, or the bad It's Good film, The Room, the one with the Tommy Wiseau film. Yeah, The Room. Yeah. But
that's going the other direction now.
That's what I mean. If it was a different climate, I would say, oh yeah, okay, cool, good for Studio Canal. But I
definitely understand the process more of a feature based on a true story than seeing the documentary.
Yeah,
it's weird that it's done the other way around. But from the actual documentary, which is being presented almost like a film. Well, it's a documentary film. That looks fantastic. And I thought that was really, really well put together, and I'm definitely going to see that. As a dramatization for it, I think once you've seen the real people involved in it, I just don't see how the dramatization is going to impact you in the same way as opposed to seeing the actual people living through it. So it might be a nice story, it might be well played, but we'll have to wait and see. But it seems odd to come after it. But
yeah,
you know, studios need ideas at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. Andreas?
Well, I didn't check the trailer for the documentary, and I'm as much fun as I've had tonight. I'm gonna have to. I did say to Sacha I might not be able to stay for the whole thing.
Right.
I'm gonna have to check off. But before I do, I want to say thank you.
No, thank you, man.
Please invite me on another one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have you on, man. Don't worry.
Right,
don't
thank
worry.
you, Sacha. Take care, guys.
That's all right,
take care,
man.
Andreas.
Enjoy the rest. Okay.
Take it easy, man.
Bye-bye.
So as Andreas said, why bother? I just don't see the reason for spending unnecessary money, even though it may be it all depends if people watch that documentary. I just don't see until they sort cinemas out and know how they're gonna where the new model is. I know Disney is kind of like, oh fuck this, we're just gonna do our own thing, and I don't see that working for Disney too well, but I don't know, man. I don't know. When it comes to the smaller films like that, I think there needs to be a premise that I think a lot more people have, more eyes need to be on it, or people need to know about it more. I mean, The Room was genius in terms of that it was that a film so bad, and a lot of people would have heard of it. Maybe not have seen it, but would have heard of it. What got people to watch that film, and so even though it was based on the book, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I've spent too much time on this already. It's like, yeah, you didn't give me your outlook on it.
I led it.
So you want to watch? You want to see this?
I'm open to it, man. I'm fine. I can see how the story would lend itself to a film version. I'm not totally against it because it is based on a documentary. But yeah, I said that at the beginning.
Fair dues.
But yeah, moving on. We have what have we got? Patrick Wilson. Actor Patrick Wilson is directing the 5th Insidious. Now, I only just noticed that this is the guy that played Night Owl in Watchmen, and he's in the Batman vs Superman. He's a voice or something. He's in a lot of Zack Snyder films. I've only really taken notice of him because of the movie Stretch by one of my favorite directors. I've forgotten his name. I can't be that much of a favorite director. He's the guy that did the A-Team and the Liam Neeson versus Wolves movie.
Joe Carnahan.
There we go. I was watching this one by Joe Carnahan. It has David Hasselhoff in it. Fantastic movie. But yeah, back to the point. Yeah, it's his first film as a director. Good one to cut his teeth in, I think. Horror movie, and by the looks of it, a movie that he's acted in as part of a franchise. So because he was in the first 2 or 3, I don't know how many of these, but this is the 5th one. I've not seen Insidious. I don't really do horror movies for those that don't know. But how do you guys feel about 5th Insidious movie being directed by former star Patrick Wilson?
I've seen the first Insidious movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now you had Insidious and then Insidious Chapter 2.
Yeah.
And then you have Chapter 3 and The Last Key, which were both prequels.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a direct sequel to Insidious 2 with the original cast and everybody returning. So that's kind of the difference in this. I remember seeing the first one and liking it, but again, I'm the same. I'm not a big, scary movie fan. Not that I mind them, just they're not kind of my go-to. And this was created by James Wan, right? This is like one of his franchises.
I think so.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's being adapted by the Halloween Kills writer Scott Teems. So some pedigree in there, and I think it'll do well. It is one of those franchises that seems to just keep going, and whatever iteration they do it, people love scary movies, and if you time it around a Halloween release, perfect. So.
More power to him. I've not seen any of the Insidious movies. I've only seen The Conjuring 1 and 2. I've seen the Conjuring universe of movies, and I actually really like apart from Annabelle. I think all the because the Conjuring movies are scary. The second one is quite scary because that was a real event as well. It happened in East London in the 70s, and that's chilling to me. And so having seen that, and that picture, The Nun, also Patrick Wilson's also in that film, so that's why I'm mentioning it. But if that's what he wants to, if horror movies, I guess, are the way to get into making films. It's a way to do it. I mean, that's how James Wan did it.
He starred in all 4 of them, and now he's going to be starring and directing in this one. So,
yes, it's cutting his teeth.
Like you said, it's a great way to dip your toes into a directing gig, and especially when you know the franchise so well.
Yeah,
because you've been a part of it, so it totally makes sense from his point of view.
Yeah, so and I guess this way he can kind of control the narrative of once he becomes a credible director, he can start to craft things in the way he would like them to. So if he ends up taking up over a franchise, he'll have some clout to some degree, or not. But
I mean, in terms of his financial success, so the 4 films so far have earned 539 million globally. So it's not a huge amount, but that's on a budget of 26.5 million.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
in which case that's a huge amount for a horror movie. That's big business. I think we take for granted, you know, with all these Marvel movies and the top 10 bit, you know, when it comes to horror, it's all about how much did it cost to make, which is literally peanuts most of the time, and then you've got to look at the returns. As long as you're making
100 million each, probably.
So yeah, that's fantastic money, to be honest, for you know what that is. And that's why there's so many horror sequels of anything, because they do it on budget, on time, and at a complete fraction of the cost. And whenever you have like a horror sequel, 9 times out of 10 they rotate cast members, so it's always fresh faces every time, because a good example, the slasher movie genre, you know, that's how you keep costs down, by killing loads of people and just bringing new fresh blood in. So good genre to start off as a director, like you said, Joe. Hopefully it all, and also it's what's good about horror, it's also something that as a director you can push yourself a lot in, if that makes sense. You know, a good horror will get you noticed for you know, bigger budget kind of movies like action or even the superhero genre. Look at James Wan, he progressed straight into Aquaman from horror. I think he did a Fast and Furious in between, but he would never have got those gigs by not being the Insidious guy, you know what I mean? So that's really...
did he do Star Trek, or was that...
He might have done, because it was a Fast and Furious director.
It might.
Because I remember the trailer for Star Trek. Hang on, let's just double check.
It was a Beastie Boys music.
Yeah, that's
track.
Right.
I remember. It's definitely him or.
Star Trek Beyond was Justin Lin.
Justin Lin. Okay. Yeah. So it's one of the. It's one of them.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah.
Okay. I guess we said all we've got to say about that. What's next, Seth?
What is next? So, okay. Netflix and Apple TV tried to buy. This is what I've looked at. I've gone into this whole thing because there's a lot of rumors that, you know, it was going to streaming and whatnot and all of this stuff. But what's happened is Netflix and Apple TV approached MGM and went to them, hey, we would like to buy No Time to Die off your hands and, you know, put it on our streaming platform. In which case MGM said, sure, our starting bid is 600 million.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Totally
makes sense. The other thing is that's, you know, that's their money if they want to do it. And more importantly is they have also said we have no intention in streaming this movie as James Bond's a cinematic experience.
I don't think that's why they're doing it.
No. Well, there's a lot of other factors. For MGM, this is, you know, unlike most movie franchises, they didn't foot the bill on the budget. The Broccolis actually put in their own money. So, like how George Lucas did his Star Wars prequels, for every Bond film that have come out for quite a few decades, they've pumped in the 200 million themselves. The only thing the studio have to worry about are marketing costs. So, and by the sounds of it, the marketing costs are, I don't know, Ken, maybe you could correct me. In fact, Chest, I'm going off a different podcast now that threw a number, so I'll use that number. It's probably not the number because I'm a bit dubious of it, but they said the marketing cost was between 50 and 70 million, which is a lot cheaper than your standard big budget blockbuster. I could see why MGM want to keep it in theaters now, that they haven't foot the bill. The Broccolis, they haven't borrowed money for it. They've just straight up paid it out of their own pocket. So anything that they stand to gain is going to be straight off the back end. So a cinema release is definitely within their favor. Sending it to streaming, 600 million, I think that's what the studio and the Broccolis want to make out of it, to make themselves happy more than anything. But at the same time, I don't see any streaming service bowing down to 600 million for a Bond film. That's, clearly Netflix backed out and Apple TV backed out. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy because James Bond is a film I really want to see it at the cinema. And I think the big buzz for this is the fact that the marketing is because it's Daniel Craig's last Bond, potentially last Bond. I'm still, it's not over until the fat lady sings with James Bond. So, you know what I mean? But while it's a good marketing ploy,
nobody fucking dies in the film.
Yeah.
It's not just his last film.
Oh, man.
His last film.
It's Bond's last film.
It's Bond's
And then
last.
we're just going to reset and start back at the beginning again.
Yeah.
I think I agree with a lot of what you said there, Sacha. I thought the trailer for this was fantastic.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I'm so hyped for this movie, and it's definitely one I want to see on the big screen. I want to see in IMAX, and I can understand they're asking that price because Skyfall did over 1.1 billion worldwide.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
when you take out the takings of the cinemas, because obviously whatever box office revenue you get, you got to remember the studio. That's not all studio money.
Yeah.
There's percentages that go out to various things. So you can understand from a profitability point of view, 600 million is probably where they want to be at. So yeah, I totally don't blame them for that, and I think they're right to stick to their guns because they know when it does hit cinemas, it will make bank. So yeah.
More importantly for them, unlike Disney and a lot of other places, because they've paid for it themselves outright, they don't have the bank on them or other investors on their case going, hey, where's our money? Okay, we've got increase, because a lot of these films are being held hostage to the fact that they're being forced to release because of other investors, because the interest.
They owe the bank's money when you don't want to owe bank money.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, this film has the luxury of no, we'll release it when it's ready because we own it. You know what I mean? And, for MGM, no wonder they're chilling because it's such a small investment on their end because they just got to deal with the marketing costs. So,
funnily enough, I know what company markets that film. It's my old company, Empire Design. They do the posters, trailers, and I believe with the web marketing for it. Actually, that may have changed but I know they do the post and the trailers and all the YouTube trailers and they've done all the Bonds since Daniel Craig started, and the amount that they get paid to do that is quite it's a huge paycheck, and so I know that film has cost an arm and a leg to on the post production end and the marketing end to bank. So they need they need a return. They absolutely need a return, and 600 million just isn't going to cut it. I reckon they're after $1 billion, like the last Bond films made. They're going for that billion or over amount to not to break even, just so it's profitable for everyone. And so if it does, when does it come out next year? Is it March?
No.
Easter weekend, is it? Around
is there a date now? Okay.
I think it was March, April, something like that. It's not a specific date, but I think they pushed it to at least April.
Right. So if the whatever happens with the pandemic, if all the cinemas are open and people, I think that's enough time for. I mean, I think that's what Tenet was trying to do, but because we're in the middle of will they, won't they, I think now there's a more definite sign of, okay, well, after this lockdown, if cinemas are still open, we know what the procedures are. We know what, or at least I do anyway. And you went to the cinema a couple of times, Ken, haven't you?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think they can capitalize on one. I don't think many films will be coming out. Actually, there's a lot of films coming out next year. And I don't know. That's going to be tough. But
what they're going to face next year is actually competition.
Yeah, a lot. I just realized that.
Yeah, everything that's this year. So where it might have had like when the cinemas are doing their screenings, when they're doing the film budgeting in terms of the buying, but major releases get a certain amount of time in the big screens. And so then what will happen, obviously, is there's going to be so many more films which are demanding that top spot. They're not going to be in the big auditoriums for as long as where you would normally have them. So the opening weekends and opening weeks are going to be so important for those movies that I think the big tentpole films are literally going to be showing in like 6 screens per cinema, and then have them and then move it down to 1 or 2 screens with the next new film 6 screens, and just kind of keep that going, and just kind of limit it down. But next year is going to be it'd be interesting to see. Fun fact: the most successful James Bond movie for American box office, adjusted for inflation, is actually Thunderball.
No way. Okay. Wow. I would never have thought.
Sean Connery.
Yeah. It just proves that Sean Connery's the best Bond. Fuck you, Sach. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Not adjusted for worldwide, but for the American box office, it's Thunderball, Goldfinger, then Skyfall.
Okay. Wow. None of Brosnan's are in there. Unfortunate. Satch, have you got any more to say on this? One, would you... the fact that it was Apple were buying for... I mean, Apple have got all the money in the world, so they I reckon they could just bid for it if they wanted to. So fuck it. We've got it. Fuck you guys. We've got it. But no one would see it. And with Netflix, more people would see it. And so if Netflix got it, there'll be definite eyeballs in it. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know anyone that has Apple TV. And so, I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone does, but no one's ever mentioned any of the shows that are on it, apart from Snoopy.
Snoopy.
Yes, because they bought all the Snoopy franchise rights.
Wow.
And I don't know anyone that has Apple TV.
I like Snoopy, but I wouldn't get Apple TV for it.
No, I think Leo does, but I think that's the only one I know.
Yeah.
Does Leo have it?
He has an Apple TV, so I don't know if he subscribes to the TV service or he just has the box and uses it for his streaming and stuff like that.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm just glad they didn't fold to any of those guys, because I think it would have been a shame, and yeah, gladly that's not the case. All right, Satch, what's next?
What's next? Okay, so Image Comics' The Strange Talent of Luther Strode is to be made into a movie by the team behind The Witcher. The script is being written by the comic book creators themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got. So, yeah, this is kind of like it's a comic book movie, and it's got slasher kind of vibes to it. But what I understand, he's kind of like a Parker-esque character, and he tries to become like a bodybuilder or something, and then like some horror shit happens and stuff. That's the vibe I'm getting from what I understand of this. I could be completely wrong. Correct me in the comments below. Ken, do you know anything more about this IP? Because I've never read this comic.
No, I've never read the comic. I hadn't even heard of the comic, but I did a little bit of reading before we came on, and yeah. So basically, yeah, it's very much like a Spider-Man kind of vibe, but it's kind of like on steroids, like a lot more gory, a lot more severe and stuff like that. But basically, yeah, it's like this geeky, geek,
geek,
like very small, very slim and stuff like that. He has, I think, abuse at home. I think like maybe his dad and stuff. And then he's bullied in school, so he's got a lot of physical abuse around him and stuff like that. And then he's got a lot of violence in his life. So then he sees an ad in a comic book called The Hercules Method, and he sends it off as like a coupon, and it begins building up his body. But basically, the Hercules method really does give you strength, like super strength. And so basically, he goes from this powerless young boy, and he's like one of the most physical, powerful men in the world.
Damn.
That's kind of it. And then he starts, I guess, seeking his vengeance and taking his violence out on other people and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's all I really know about it. So it sounds like a really, decent concept for a movie or a series. But I think I haven't seen all of The Witcher yet. I've only seen the first couple of episodes. But from what I've seen in the comic book art and stuff like that, it is very R-rated. It's very graphic. It's like decapitations and stuff like that. So it's going to have to be true to the source, which, like Sacha says, the original writers are going to be doing it. It's going to be a hardcore series.
Right. If this is a gem like The Boys is, because I'd never heard of The Boys before.
Yes.
I
could definitely be in that vein.
Yeah. If it's anything, if it's as good as that, then who's picked this up?
It's just the makers of The Witcher at the moment.
Okay, so Netflix, essentially.
Yeah, most likely Netflix.
So I mean, they'll have two, I guess, because the Umbrella Academy is fairly good, and if they get down what if they can lock down that violence like you just mentioned, Ken, I think because what I like about The Boys is that the violence is gratuitous, but there's always a specific reason for this violence. Sometimes it's comedic, but other times there's okay, you don't want to mess with Homelander, he will fucking kill you. And with this character, if it's like a twisted version of Spider-Man, I think that could work. It just has to be done, presented well, and
the gore comes from the fact that the thing that he sends away to help him train is like from a murder cult or something like that.
Right.
But basically, it also makes him homicidal. So he has the benefits of the super strength and building and stuff like that, but it makes him homicidal, which is that kind of, maybe it's inner conflict. Again, I haven't read it, but that would be why he suddenly starts lashing out and killing people.
Yeah. Well, again, I guess once they've adapted it and we see a trailer to it, it's a thing with these properties. If you've never heard of it before, you can only imagine or if you've read pick up the comic and read it, you can imagine what the live action version of it would be. I know Netflix is doing another show. I can't remember the name of it, so I'll leave it there. But yeah, again, I think if Netflix manages to pull off what they did with the Umbrella Academy, then yeah, they've got another one on their hands there. So yeah, what do you think, Sach?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I like the premise. But yeah, again, I need to see a trailer before I come to a conclusion on stuff like this. So yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Celine Dion and Outlander star, Sam Heffman and Priya.
Oh, right, the one from The Matrix. Oh, that's going to be in The Matrix.
To star in a rom-com. Text to you. This film. Okay, this film's based on a novel, and it's a story that follows a woman who tragically loses her fiance and starts to send romantic texts to his old cell phone. It turns out the number has been reassigned to a man across town suffering from a similar heartbreak. The two meet and feel an undeniable connection, but can't seem to leave the past behind. Dion's music gives them the courage to take a chance on love again. Okay, right. Rom-com. Need to see a trailer, how it's presented. That's all I've got to really say, to be honest. Celine Dion as a lead. Has she been in a lead in a film before?
She's been in Deadpool.
Yeah, she was in Deadpool for like 5 seconds.
I don't know how much she's a lead in it, but I think it features her singing and.
Yeah, that's right. I think she sings that. Is it the opening or closing credits?
For Deadpool, yeah, but I'm talking about.
Oh, right. right.
I think it's very much a case of she's not going to have that much of an impact, and it's going to be more. probably her within it. Maybe she was performing somewhere and they go see her, this, that, and the other. I think they just attach her name for the music. I think her music's going to feature quite heavily in it. But it's actually a remake. There's a German film of the same name, but it's called SMS for Dich, if that's correct, or Dick, in 2016. So they're remaking that, but that again was based off the novel, like you say, Sacha. So the original vibe sounded very much like a PS I Love You kind of thing, you know, where someone's passed and then they're kind of sending messages and that kind of thing. But I didn't know about the fact that it's been reassigned and she starts messaging somebody else. So that's interesting. I think it's definitely going to play more of a drama than a comedy. So yeah, is it appealing to me? Not especially. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, she's, you know, the success of The Matrix 4 will help push that movie and stuff like that, depending how much of her involvement in it. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's one for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, Ken. Romantic comedies don't usually interest me. I mean, I think the last one I watched was this. I mean, the only one I own is There's Something About Mary, and funnily enough, they're all Farley Brothers films. So
that's just it. I mean, like with rom-coms, it really, for me, it's all about the trailer, because you get a sense of the leads. Well, yeah, because you get a sense of the leads, you get the sense of the script kind of thing, and whether it's your cup of tea. For example, back in the early 90s, I'd never heard of filmmaker Kevin Smith, who's one of my favorite filmmakers. But I saw the trailer to Chasing Amy. I saw like comic book references and shit, and it was a pretty shit hot trailer for its day. And I was like, I'll take a chance on that. And whoa, I discovered the whole View Askew universe through that film. And, you know, with rom-coms, for me, it depends.
Not a rom-com. It's a
is it not a rom-com?
So it's not a comedy.
Oh, okay. So it's a drama. Okay. In that case, yeah, again, depends on the trailer.
Everything depends on the trailer.
Yeah,
totally depends on the trailer. A lot of, I can't really, don't really have a vibe on this just yet. But yeah, the concept sounds.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very much in that vein of that P.S. I Love You kind of vibe. So that's that romantic drama piece.
God, that doesn't sell me at all. Yeah, it's I saw P.S. I Love You, and I Hilary Swank, man. I don't know, whatever. That's literally how I feel about it. Yeah. Oh, if it's
about this or Hilary Swank?
No. Hilary Swank's fine. It's just because she came off. She did that boxing film with
Clint
something.
Eastwood.
Yeah, with Clint Eastwood. And then she did that, and it's not a great film.
Yeah, Got a Baby.
Yeah, it's not a great film, but for Millie Dollar Baby to doing that, and this film doesn't. Look, I could be wrong. I just need to see more. All I have is 3 pictures of people and a synopsis.
Concept.
Yeah, concept, and you can't. There's not really much to drive in if it's not a known IP or something that doesn't particularly interest you. And these films never usually do. I'm sure to other people out there it will, but I think that's to be seen in the footage that comes next. Sach, what's next?
Okay, next up, Sam Rami is to produce the horror movie Be My Eyes with the rest of the Crawl team. Crawl team. Okay. This movie is the story of a law student who volunteers to receive anonymous phone calls from blind people through an app to help them see and do simple tasks. One night, she's pulled into a race against time when she gets a terrifying call from a blind woman in the midst of an abduction. This, you know what? I like that premise, actually.
Is this a Scott Derrickson film?
Who's directing it? Let's have a look.
I just want to be sure because I had an image up and I'm not sure if it was the right one.
No, it's the director of the latest Child's Play and Polaroid, Lars Klevberg.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have an image for that.
Okay, yeah, he's directing it. Yeah, typical horror movie kind of premise. I kind of dig it. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm finding with all these announcements that of IPs that I don't know about and the synopsis. I mean, it sounds fairly interesting.
Yeah,
that's it. it's fairly interesting. It's like, oh look, there's a comet over there. Cool, and then you go back to what you're doing, and that's the only way I can suggest it. Really, it's if it was done by Michael Bay. So fuck, I'm watching this because it's just not a film that he would do. So if Michael Bay was attached to do this, I said, whoa, okay, that's immediately made it more interesting.
You're gonna like the next one then.
But yeah, I mean, as for now, I can't really say here or there about it. It's fairly interesting. Ken, what do you make?
Yeah, it's kind of bad. It's just news, isn't it? It's barely news. I can't say I'm excited. I can't say I'm upset or angry. It's just, yeah.
This guy's not ruining anyone's childhood. So,
exactly.
Yeah,
he's not upsetting me. So carry on.
Yeah. Let's see what you got. Director that I just heard and I can't remember now.
Okay, so Donald Sutherland joins Halle Berry in the Halle Berry led film Moonfall by Roland Emmerich. If you guys need a refresh, this movie is about a space crew that travel to the moon after it's struck by an asteroid and is sent on a collision course with Earth.
Of course it is. He always has to destroy something.
He always has to destroy something.
Than the asteroid hitting Earth, the asteroid hits the moon, which is now going to be brilliant. How is it not a sequel? I just you know what you get.
I want to see the trailer for this.
And probably Donald Sutherland's going to play like the president or something.
Yeah.
That. I'm fine. Hilary Swank will be the pilot, saving the world.
Yeah.
She'll sacrifice herself for the greater good, and Donald Sutherland will say thank you. And that's how I see how it goes.
Boom! We've got a movie there, but that's in the can.
How I haven't succeeded in Hollywood yet is beyond me.
Then you just need to try in the first place.
Well, as Ken said, man, it's kind of a do by numbers, man. If Roland Emmerich is making a film, it's either the city's going to get destroyed or the Earth's going to get destroyed. It just happens that it's something else that.
New York.
Oh yes, he really hates New York. How many times can you watch the Statue of Liberty being destroyed by this man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm shocked he hasn't reused footage.
Do you know what? That'd be hilarious if 1 minute it's just the film that he's filming and then it's a shot of Independence Day.
No, but I'm seriously shocked he's never reused footage from his other films.
Maybe he has. You don't know.
Yeah,
Michael Bay has. So
but with Michael Bay, it took like a whole load of fucking geeks to fucking figure that one out after like a couple of years as well. And it's like, what was it? The Island? I think it was the Island. He took car chases from The Island and Bad Boys and just put CGI Transformers in them.
Save on budget.
But you know what? I got to respect that hustle because that's amazing.
I mean, what he does is he just. Because I know he does a lot of his own writing and stuff like that, but it's just like, how can I fuck up the Earth this time? So I know he did like Stargate, and that's like kind of a cult classic and stuff like that. Independence Day, let's fuck it up. So spaceships are gonna fuck it up. Godzilla, we're gonna have a monster fuck it up. Day after tomorrow, we're gonna have the weather fuck it up.
Independence Day 2.
We're gonna have a prophecy fuck it up.
Yeah.
And so it's all just about like you say, different ways of trashing shit. So this is just he hasn't done an asteroid one yet, but because we've had Armageddon and Deep Impact, it'll be the moon. And
yep.
What will happen is, here's something to think about. So he probably may be able to reuse footage because by the moon coming nearer to Earth, that should adjust the gravitational pull, in the tides. Because
you're going 2012, aren't you? You're going 2012. Okay.
Waves crashing over the city.
Yep, there you go. Thank you and good night. Oh, this is the end of the podcast. Good night.
2012 as well.
Yeah,
there you go.
That was like the prophecy. Yeah, the world's going to end. So,
I think the last film I saw of his was Day After Tomorrow, and that's when I realised, I'm out.
I watched Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh God.
I watched White House Down, which wasn't too bad actually.
Okay.
But in terms of other films he's directed, Dark Horse, as a TV movie, Anonymous, I don't remember that. And then 2012 was in 2009, so there's a big gap there.
Oh, Anonymous, yeah, I remember that when everyone was going nuts because he's not destroying anything. It's about Shakespeare. The Shakespeare doesn't work.
Vanessa Redgrave, yeah.
And it was like, huh?
Yeah, but that was like, was Shakespeare a fraud? It's like, way to piss people off,
It's either doing one or the other. Destroying someone or pissing our whole nation off.
Destroy the world, so I'm going to destroy a person.
You just see Shakespeare explode at the end. So yeah, that's what we think about that set. I mean, it would be good. It would be good to see Donald Sutherland in something. I guess. I mean, he's in another film as well, but yeah, Roland Emmerich. I've seen his trick 15 times now. So if it's good, yeah. But I'm not going to be one to test that out. I'm going to let the audience test that out, and yeah, I'll see. But I like Halle Berry and I like Donald Sutherland, so that's what I'll take from there. What about you, Sach?
I couldn't give a shit, to be honest.
Fantastic. Let's move on.
Yeah.
What's next?
Okay, next up, Timothy Chalamet has his Bob Dylan biopic is put on hold because of COVID-19. That and every other movie under the sun, eh?
The movies of continued production, the reason why they stopped production is because of the type of movie it is with a biopic. They need a lot of smaller venues in terms of like clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and the hair and makeup because of the year it was in. So that's why they've kind of paused that kind of venue production starting like that. In terms of the movie, great person to do. Timothy Chalamet, I think he's a fantastic actor, and I hope he smashes it out of the park. So
let's hope Dune's not. Let's hope Dune does well for him in terms of getting his face out there. Again, what Ken said.
As long as it's got the music, then
I don't really have much more to say to that. I mean, this movie and every other movie is being delayed, so I hope he gets through it. I hope that he doesn't burn money making this, which I doubt. But yeah, hope it greenlights production again. What do you make of it, Sach?
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys just said, to be honest.
This is going to be, I agree. Do you agree? I agree.
but Ken kind of nailed it on the head about the logistics, about like the filming and stuff. And you know what I mean? If you're going to recreate a music biopic, you're going to need like actual gigs.
Mm-hmm.
To look like gigs, you know what I mean? You can't CGI that. You know what I mean? You want to record like an atmosphere, and I think that's what makes these kind of movies work, really, because they emulate such an atmosphere, especially being a biopic as well. I mean, one thing I gotta say, when I saw the Rami Malek one, what's it?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Like you actually felt like that was a recreation of the damn concert in Wembley, and that was a really good piece of filmmaking there.
Yeah, good mixture of practical and visual and special effects.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Netflix acquires Edris Elba's latest movie, Concrete Cowboy. This movie is about a teenager that discovers the world of urban horseback riding when he moves with his estranged father to North Philadelphia. Stars Idris Elba and Method Man.
Oh,
Can you
Method Man.
guys feel this one?
I don't think you have any right to say that. I mean, it's a Netflix film. Did he sell it to Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's probably going to be good then. I've seen too many bad Netflix films now to say they have a really bad ratio on films. TV shows, high ratio. Films, bad. I'm not gonna keep saying that because I've said it in 3 other podcasts now. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Ken?
I don't know too much about this, to be honest, other than I know it's like a Western drama.
Set in Will Smith country, so I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to be singing in it. DJing it, who knows? Yeah. But yeah, so Concrete Cowboy says follows 15-year-old Cole, which is Caleb McLaughlin, who's from Stranger Things, and discovers a world of urban horseback riding when his mother sends him to live with his estranged father, who is played by Elbas, in North Philadelphia. So yeah, I guess. Is it kind of a modern? Is it a modern movie that?
It does look that way.
Vibe on it, so like he takes him. I think it. Yeah.
The image I have, it's there are quite modern buildings in it.
Yeah, so it must be a case of, he lives out on a ranch and then he goes to go stay with his dad and he teaches him the ways of the Old West. So, probably it's going to be a father-son kind of bonding movie. So, yeah, for that I'm down with it. I mean, if you
once you put his face on it, Idris Elba's face on it, and you link Stranger Things to it, yeah, I think people will watch it. I think it's the way it's marketed now. Which I think Netflix are notoriously bad at when it comes to their films. But it will be sold by him and Stranger Things in the sense that Idris Elba's a huge star and this kid's from Stranger Things, which will get eyeballs on it. What do you think, Sach?
I already said everything at the start, dude. As always. That's the 3rd time you've done that to me, man. I've led it. I've said my thoughts, and then you go and say something. Then it comes to Ken, and then you're like, "What do you think, Sach?" And I'm like, "Hang on, I just said it."
Well, excuse me to be Chris Morris about everything. What is next, Sach?
Okay, next up.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Sony are looking to purchase Crunchyroll to use it as a streaming service.
I mean, it already is a streaming service. I just think
yeah, but that's quite a niche streaming service. I mean, it shows every anime under the sun on there, but
no, it doesn't. It shows I have Crunchyroll.
Okay, it shows a lot of anime.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot.
I'm being pedantic.
That's what it's catered to, the anime audience, isn't it? Like a lot of people sign up to it to get the latest episodes from Japan, isn't it? So
it tags itself as the official source of anime and drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of Korean shows on it as well.
Okay.
I
haven't seen it.
Sag?
I haven't seen that service since. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, you said it like.
Yeah, because you froze.
I haven't seen or used that. Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that service in use for probably about 10 years or something like that. Because I remember
it's still around.
Yeah, it's still around. To be quite honest, I knew it's gotten bigger and stuff. I didn't know they did live action shows and stuff. So when I heard this news, I was like, that's a bit niche. Are they going to put all their Sony stuff on there? But obviously it's grown into something else now.
It's all for anime. That's a big push apparently nowadays. That anime is a huge money spinner apparently on the streaming service. I know Netflix has acquired a lot of property. They have Ghost in the Shell now. They have Cowboy Bebop.
I think it's become more accessible over the past 20 years, to be honest, because a lot of
it's cheap to make. It's cheap to make,
yeah,
especially in pandemic time.
Yeah, but that as well as a lot of young kids as well, and early teens and guys in their 20s and stuff are like really into that stuff. Girls as well. Anime's come a long way from when I was a kid, because like, there's no one my age except for, certain individuals that are really into it. You know what I mean? But if you ask like younger people, they know their Naruto, they know their Bleach, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
it's just a continuing trend of Sony. So actually in 2017 they actually purchased Funimation.
Yeah, Funimation, yeah.
And that's got a lot of anime and stuff on that as well. I think they've got like 1 million subscribers or something like that.
Yeah, Funimation's huge.
Yeah, so it's it's just them picking up these bits to where they can just get an extra extra paying subscribers. So Crunchyroll has 70 million free members and 3 million paying subscribers. So it's a huge audience, over 73 million. So and it just gives Sony thousands of titles they can use, because Sony's got its own animes. Like, is it Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
So they own that, but obviously they've been licensing it to other streaming services and stuff like that. So it's just a case of like, let's try and get it all in house, because anime is huge.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to look at just the American market, So there's a lot of money to be had, with these Japanese animations and stuff.
Yeah. From the start. Well, do you guys remember Manga Entertainment? Has anyone of you guys heard of? So I remember that's when I started watching anime. They brought a whole bunch of animations from Streamline Pictures, and then they turned into Manga Entertainment, and it just grew. It became this huge thing in the late 80s and early 90s, and it's the same thing here. It's like, okay, well, this is getting bigger. We're just gonna buy this entity and stream everything we have, and because it has a built-in, it's already got a built-in audience. It's a no-brainer for any company trying to get in on the anime bandwagon. So why not? I'm surprised Apple haven't tried to do this, or what's the other streaming site? Amazon. And so I think it's going to be that'll be a home run for Sony if they manage to, because that's quite a sneaky purchase if they manage to get it.
The anime industry, as animation, is worth, in just a couple of years ago, it was worth over 21 billion. So there's money in that market, man. So Sony being very, very smart here.
Yeah. Even I didn't. What? Oh gosh, I thought Crunchyroll was. It was just like I just didn't think anyone would put their spotlight on it, but Sony clearly has seen the foresight in this and just yep, swish, that's ours, thank you. That's my 2 cents on that. What's next, Satch?
What is next, indeed? Okay. John David Washington and Alice Vikander are to star in Born to Be Murdered. This is a film by Call Me By Your Name director Luca, I'm going to butcher his name, I can't do it.
But yeah, I think something like that.
So he's directing this. It's set in Athens in Greece, where a vacationing couple fall into a trap into a violent conspiracy with tragic consequences. Okay, that's very vague on what this is, but clearly this is based on the rising star power of John David Washington and Alice Vikander. I know Call Me By Your Name had huge buzz a few years ago around Oscar season and stuff for both Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer, and this guy's been on Hollywood's radar for quite a long time. Looks like the kind of film that, someone that's, been doing a lot of indies for a long time to get his name out there to Western market, definitely. If it's some, thriller that's a conspiracy kind of thing, I like that genre. I do need to see a trailer though, because the synopsis is vague as fuck. John John David Washington, though, if you know, unfortunately due to COVID, I think a lot more eyes would have been on his career had Tenet had come out in normal times. But it's good to see that he's still getting a lot of the roles out there, and yeah, he's definitely a damn good talent, because I've seen Black Klansman, love that movie, and yeah, he's fucking good. And you know what? I didn't realize he was Denzel's son until after I watched that movie. I didn't know going in. So yeah, thoughts, guys?
Go on, Ken. Go on.
Yeah, no, I think he is a great actor, and I really liked him in Ballers.
Ballers. Oh, the TV show. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great now, playing an NFL player. I think you're right, Sacha. You know, because of the way the lockdown happened, and Tenet, you know, not as many people got their eyes on him. Again, I have my issues with Tenet as a movie. I wasn't wowed by it, but you know, he had a strong performance in it. But unfortunately, it was a performance that just wasn't very layered for me. You know, it was quite a straight performance, and he's much better than that. So the way that the writers and everybody have been talking about this Born to be Murdered, you know, it's very much a passion project of the writer. It's very much sort of a manhunt thriller type movie. And they said they've been working on it for years to get the right tone and everything right. So they've obviously think that they found the right leads in this, and yeah, with that kind of talent, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Again, I'll going by Ken's sentiment. Yeah, to get these two actors on board, there's clearly something in it. So even though the premise may be a bit shallow, there's clearly something more to it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, David, what's his name? Mr. Washington as well.
John David Washington.
John David Washington. He's got so much charisma. He's got the same charisma as his dad, and so I'll in Tenet he does hold his own, but as Ken said, he plays it straight, but he still has. You can see his dad's charisma in him. He's got it. He doesn't really need to say much. He says a few words and, oh, right, okay, yeah, I see it. So yeah, I'll watch him in anything. He can do no wrong as far as I can say for now. Alicia Vikander, she's an amazing actress, and so she picks her films quite well as well. And so there's got to be something in this that the synopsis doesn't give you, or the outline of the script doesn't give you. And so I think, yeah, whatever this turns into, the first images of it will sell me. I hope. What about you, Seth? What do you think?
Same as I said before.
I know. It's called a callback. Okay, what's next?
Moving on. Okay, Scott Derrickson is to direct Black Phone. This is a story of a
this is
young,
the one with the phone.
Abducted, but this is a young man. This is a story of a young man that's abducted and locked in a basement that's stained with blood of half a dozen murdered children. Sorry, I'm reading this for the first time. I'm processing it as well, and that really made me go, The seller with him is an antiques. The seller with him in has an antique telephone long since disconnected, but it's been disconnected, but it rings at night with calls from the dead. Okay. Scott Derrickson's been hired to direct it. What do you guys think of the premise?
Kid, a creepy soundproof basement, an ancient disconnected phone, and at night the phone rings. Kind of tells you what the vibe is.
Yeah.
I like Derrickson as a director. I think he did Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he did. He did.
Yeah, and he did Sinister, so he's obviously had that kind of horror via in terms of his work previously. Apparently, it's going to be R-rated. So yeah, it's an interesting premise. I haven't seen the short film, which is being adapted from. But is it a short film or a short story? Short story. Sorry, it's a short story. And yeah, so it's going to be a Blumhouse production. So yeah, sounds interesting. But again, because I'm not such a Blumhouse type person, I may get around to seeing this. I have to wait and what it looks like and what the reviews are.
Further down the line,
I'm a director, so that might entice me a little bit more.
I kind of agree with you. I think what Scott Derrickson is going to do with this, fuck Disney, I'm going to put everything in that I wanted to do in Doctor Strange that I in this film. So you're just going to see random references to Doctor Strange or the MCU in this film. Fuck you guys. It's considering what he wanted to do with Doctor Strange. I'm really curious to see, to be honest. I know Sam Raimi will do a good job of that, but I really wish he stayed on to direct that version of it. This film to me it sounds like Lights Out. Was it Lights Out? Lights Out. I think it was Lights Out. It was a short film that turned into a horror film. If he's directing it, I think, and it's R, I think we're in for something quite special. I liked a lot of nightmarish elements in Doctor Strange. That I think he would have ramped up if he was allowed to do what he was allowed to do. Depending on its budget, I think this would be pretty cool to see. But again, just going on premise, it's really hard to say. If it wasn't for, if I didn't know if it was him doing it, I would be like the other films that we just talked about. I would just go, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Saj. I'm joking. I'm joking. What's next?
Okay, so what is next? Aaron Taylor Johnson has joined Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. This is a new movie by David Leitch, so lots of John Wick fighting, I'm assuming. It's about 5 assassins that board a fast-moving bullet train to find out that their mission all have something in common. I'm assuming they're after the same bounty or something, and I'm assuming the fact that it's called Bullet Train is that it's set in Japan on a bullet train going from one side of the country to the other. That's my assumption. How right am I? Where's Joe gone?
Yeah, Joe has left the building. It's based on a Japanese book, Maria Beetle. Like I said, it centers on a group of hitmen and assassins with conflicting motives on a train in Tokyo. So yeah, I think they're all going to be on the train for different reasons. They're probably going to disagree and end up fighting. But yeah, I think it's So Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's crept up in a few different things recently. He was in Tenet as well.
Mm-hmm. Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's going to be in The Kingsman, or the prequel to Kingsman. So he's kind of rebuilding the little reputation that he lost a little bit. I think he was going to be seen as the next big thing. He's in Avengers: Age of Ultron, Godzilla, and Kick-Ass. I think he was going to just go on to do great things, and it was like he stumbled a little bit. I think trying to find his right place and stuff like that. So I good luck to him. I like him as an actor. And Bullet Train, I think is going to be quite an ensemble cast. I'll just wait and see.
Same sentiments with Ken, really. Brad Pitt is usually quite selective with his scripts as well. So if he's in it, it's probably going to be a good film or an Oscar contender. I have no doubt there's some quality in this. So Aaron Taylor Johnson has, as Ken said, ever since he's, I guess, past Age of Ultron, he's been in these interesting roles. He's picked I didn't know. He's kind of transformed himself in every role ever since then, and I'm always shocked because in Tenet, you don't. oh right, that's Aaron Taylor Johnson. You kind of have to go, oh right, okay, all right. And it's yeah. I won't say any more about it, but yeah, he's picking interesting roles as well. I think he's gearing for these interesting roles, so he's not like pigeonholed in a particular thing. Yeah, he's doing a good job with what the film roles he's picking so far. So if he's in a film with Brad Pitt, then yeah, more power to him. He's going for gold, man. And yeah, that's all I got to say, really.
Yeah, there's a film he did with John Cena called The Wall.
Oh right.
And it's directed by Doug Liman, and it's very much a situational thing where it's two Marines, one's shot, and the other one's behind this wall, and there's a sniper, and it's about how he tries to navigate himself out of that situation.
Right.
I found it really interesting. It wasn't like greatly reviewed and stuff like that. Probably not a lot of people saw it, but yeah, if you want one of those kind of Sunday afternoon kind of movies you're a little bit struggling to watch, I think it's available on Amazon Prime. I think that's where I watched it originally. But yeah, it's called The Wall. Aaron Taylor Johnson, John Cena, directed by Doug Liman, and yeah, it's a good little flick.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out, actually. That sounds interesting. That reminds me of what's that film with the two snipers? It came out when we were working at the cinema. Had do you know the film I'm talking about?
Is that the one with? Did they have Owen Wilson in it, or am I thinking of the wrong one?
It might, but it had Jude Law in it as well.
Oh, you're talking about the World War One movie.
I think so. I
know what you're on about. I can't remember the name of the film.
Yes, Enemy at the Gates. It had that premise of that film, that Doug Liman film, had this felt like what Enemy at the Gates.
Joseph Fiennes.
That's it, Joseph Fiennes. Yeah, yeah. So it's got that vibe to it. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
But yeah, The Wall is literally got 3 characters.
So okay.
The movie, so it's those two and the sniper. I think you only hear his voice, and that's it.
So it's phone boothy in the sense that
exactly.
Okay. Oh right. Okay, yeah, check that out.
Oh, go on, Joe.
No, I wasn't, because I was away. I didn't know if you spoke about it, so this time I'm asking.
I did speak about it. I didn't really. I kind of left it on a buzzword for you, but then I realised you'd gone. It's been directed by David Leitch.
Right.
So Deadpool, John Wick, Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde. So I'm expecting the action to be pretty hardcore, to be honest. And I'm to be honest, when I heard he was directing it, I'm really interested in this project because I love all those films. So
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, if Brad Pitt has said yes to this, then yeah. Oh, of course, he was in Deadpool 2, wasn't he? For brief.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Yeah. So that's I guess that's a connection. Okay, fair enough.
He also directed Celine Dion "Ashes," the music video.
Oh gosh, that's fantastic. I love the fact that you directed that. Okay, well, is that it? I think we're near the end now, right?
Yeah, last subject of the night. Marvel Shang-Chi has wrapped filming. Thoughts on the movie? Anyone excited for some Shang-Chi?
I don't know anything about this character. I'm gonna let you guys talk about it because I don't know anything.
Actually, it wasn't a character I was familiar with from the comics. I know he do kung fu, but that is about it. I think it's really good for Marvel in terms of the type of movie that they're trying to make. I think that it's got a correct cast for the type of movie that it is.
Mm-hmm.
They've cast some lesser known persons. Simu Liu, I think he's a Canadian actor. He's the one who's starring in it. Yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I think there will be some crossover stuff with potentially Doctor Strange, because I know the Benedict Wong's in it.
Oh right.
So
okay.
I think there might be a little bit of a tie-in there.
Okay.
It might tie, because it's like the Legend of the Ten Rings and stuff like that. So it might tie into that a little bit. Whether it explains anything regarding Iron Man, and you know the fact that we had like the rings in that and stuff like that. So who knows what it's going to be like? But yeah, I'm just glad it's been filmed. We're going to get it because man, I think 2020 is the first year in like 10 years we haven't had a Marvel movie because Black Widow got delayed.
Right.
So, yeah, I've got that Marvel itch, man. So you know, Black Widow, being a prequel, I know it's not going to lead into the next phase.
Or will it?
Or will it? But this definitely will be. So it's part of a new phase and part of somebody who potentially become a new Avenger. So yeah, I'm excited for it, man.
Chach?
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, but mainly because I want to see more kung fu movies in the mainstream kind of thing. I think with the Marvel name, this might help to do that a little and have more of a spotlight.
Other than the Matrix.
You know what it is though? The Matrix kind of did that, but not in the same way because the Matrix will always be the Matrix. I think the Matrix did more for sci-fi than it did kung fu, but at the same time, it did bring Jet Li to the mainstream, even though he wasn't directly in that movie. But Joel Silver was directly involved in Lethal Weapon 4. What was the other one with? There was another Jet Li film that he, the one and the Matrix. So you would never have got that wave because there was a little bit of a wave of kung fu films around the time of the Matrix, and that was mainly down to Joel Silver. Joel Silver's agreement with Jet Li, and Jet Li became a big rising star in Hollywood around that time. So Hollywood were catering films around him. So you got, you know, a whole slew of like martial arts films with his name on it. Hopefully that could happen with some of the martial artists that they have here. I was kind of hoping that would happen with someone like Donnie Yen or I don't know who else is in there, but I don't know who's in here that's a big star in Hong Kong. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. But hopefully, you know, we have a resurgence in the genre. That's what I want personally out of this. I'm not really bothered about the superhero genre because Marvel have got this. Do you know what I mean? I don't. This is the thing with Marvel movies. I don't feel the buzz I used to because I know they got this. I know it's a slam dunk because that's how much I trust Kevin Feige. It's like, even when people are, oh no, this could go wrong. It's like, dude, okay, like fucking Ant-Man and fucking Civil War should have been catastrophes and they weren't. Okay, guy has got this. You know what I mean? I've never had this much faith in a movie producer on a fucking IP more than anyone. You know what I mean? So I don't really have the same buzz for Marvel movies as I used to. And it's kind of, sometimes it wanes. Sometimes, like, I remember not being excited around the time of Age of Ultron, but then Kevin Feige did what he always does. He changed shit up. You know what I mean? He changed shit up with the genre. You know what I mean? With these movies that made me go, oh shit, Marvel have got shit in the bag. But now at the moment, I feel at the height of the MCU, I'm not really excited about the phase at the moment because they're not really characters I grew up with or even cared about. But judging on stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy, which I knew nothing about, stuff like, you know, and the fact that Ant-Man and Civil War should have been failures under any other studio. I have full faith in this guy. You know what I mean? But that's why the anticipation isn't there for me because, again, they've got this. You know what I mean? I get more excited and more like, oh my God, about shit that I know could be a failure because it's that, oh shit, how are they going to fuck this up now? And then, you know, every now and again they might surprise you with a trailer that lights up my interest and like make me go, oh shit, that looks good. That's why like DC movies, I know it sounds kind of crazy because I always like fucking shit on DC movies, but especially lately. But you know what? Credit where credit's due. If something interests me about those DC movies that make me go, oh shit, they're onto something here, I get more excited about that than the Marvel stuff. If that makes sense, because I know Marvel have got it. But, you know, that's just my stance on Shang-Chi. I don't really know that much going in. Wasn't he like Fu Manchu's kid or something? like or something? I don't know. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I want to see the trailer. And yeah.
Well, it's out in July next year, so I'm wondering whether it's one of those that will get a whether they'll save it to be put on the front of Black Widow, or maybe we'll get a trailer sort of like December, January time.
Yeah.
I think pretty much Disney have probably written off the rest of this year in terms of its movie stuff. So what I would expect is WandaVision to be released in November, December, probably December. And then that's, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is supposed to be out towards the end of this year as well. But I don't know if that's...
I think that's been pushed to next year now, because at the moment they're riding the Mandalorian vibe at the minute for next 6 weeks. It
makes sense for them to draw that out. So, you know, you've got Mandalorian at the moment. Once Mandalorian is finished, then I suspect they'll release WandaVision.
Yeah, that's right. So I think there's eight episodes of Mando before they shoot the Marvel trigger.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, we've got a second episode of Mando like this week. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll take us to about the 18th of December. So I would say just after that we'll probably get WandaVision.
Okay, all right. And I guess we have reached the end. I don't have much to say about Shang-Chi because I don't know anything about Shang-Chi. But
I don't think any of us knew about Shang-Chi, did.
I mean, as Mr. Burns says, it's the pal, I guess. In terms of money. I love Mr. Burns. Okay, that's the end of the episode. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's been a mammoth one. I'll just leave on this. Ken, where can we find Creative Control?
So you can find Creative Control everywhere. So you search Creative Control Movie Podcast. You'll find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, anywhere that you listen to music or listen to podcasts, you'll find us. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at Kenan Talks Film.
Okay. And Sach, anything to plug? Anything to introduce or nothing at all? No? You good? Okay, I'll leave it at that. You can also find this podcast in the same place. Just put in Zedos Gang, or as Ken said, Creative Control. Put it anywhere, you'll find it in. There's I've hashtagged your podcast, so it's Creative. I put it in the the metadata description, so it shows up in more places. So if you put in Creative Control in a search engine, it should come up. Once you have more episodes up, it will go further to the top of the search. So yeah,
we're dropping episodes every 2 weeks at the moment. So,
that's right.
Yeah, episode 3's just dropped. So yeah.
Okay. And
like, share.
yeah, there you go. Subscribe, like, share. You know the palaver.
Notified.
Yeah, it helps. It helps everyone out. So don't be a jerk.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Or that gal.
Don't be that girl or guy. Okay, and that's the end of the Zedos Game podcast, and we're out. No sign off.
Go on, do it. Come on.
I am the man that killed Jamie Lannister.